going on, guys? My name is Nick Foy. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking websites in this video, and I'm going to be showing you basic things that you can learn and need to know when you're using WordPress as your website builder. So there's going to be a list of tips here just covering some of the basic things that you should know how to do when you're using WordPress. So if you're new to WordPress, this video is going to help you greatly. If you've already been using WordPress, you're going to be reminded of some different features and things that you can do in your WordPress dashboard. So starting off, number one, let's just go over the basics of how to create a new post, like a blog article, or a new web page. So we've got two different tabs here. One is called Posts, and if you just hover over it, you're going to see a drop-down menu called Add New. You're also going to have that option up here under the plus sign that says New, and that's going to drop down where we can add a new post as well. Now there's other options in here like media, if we want to upload photos, if we want to create a new page, if we want to create a new template, which this happens to do with Elementor, which is a page builder I'm currently using. And then if you want to create a new user, like somebody on your website that's going to be a writer or maybe an admin and have access to your backend, your WordPress site to upload files and media for you, you'd want to create a new user. So that's different features you can do under the plus new tab. But to go ahead and add a new post, we'll just come here under post, click on add new, and that's going to open up a new page. So this is our blog post editor. So all we're going to do is give our blog article a title here in the title bar, and then we can come down here to the body area and just start typing in content that we want to be our blog article. Now we can create different headings by clicking this drop down menu here, and we're going to have heading 1, 2, 3, and they get smaller and smaller. So it's a way to organize your article. So it's like having chapters. Maybe heading 1 is the title of our book. Heading 2 would be like, the chapter name. And then different subheadings throughout the chapter would be heading 3s. Same with an article. I mean, we're going to start maybe with a heading 2, and we could just type in, how to train husky dogs. And then we'd start typing out information about husky dogs. And then maybe one of our first headings is, getting them to learn sit. So this could be, a specific heading then that we would put in like a heading 3 tag. And that's how we could then break up our article. So everything that we're going to train huskies, if we're getting them to learn how to sit, maybe we're going to get them to learn shake, learn roll over. So we could create different heading 3s for each of those topics, and then we'd be able to organize and break down our article using these different subheadings. Now in between the headings, we would just use normal paragraph text, which defaults, but if you need to ever change it, you could just come here and click on the paragraph version. So that's some of the basics of creating a new blog article. You would just create a new post, add a title, start typing out content, and then play around with the toolbar here to add paragraph text or heading text. You can also just click in a line here or click on the line here and we can adjust it. You don't have to highlight it. You just click into that particular row of text and it'll update it for you. So we can go back here to paragraph. We can go back to heading 3. So just by having that flashing line there on that line of text. So that's how we'd add a post if you're a new user and you're looking to add a blog article. Same thing with pages. You could hover over pages and you'll find the add new button. You're also going to find it under this plus new here. So this time we'll click on plus new page. We'll open up a new page. Alright, so this is an example of a page, what it would look like. We designed this page by using different content blocks. So I added images, I added text boxes, I added columns and rows to make the page break down a certain way. I added buttons. Alright, so this is how you would design a page. So a page is a little bit different. It's not so much text heavy like a blog article. Here's an example of a blog article. When somebody lands on my website and they click in to read an article, they see the title, they see all the text, they see the headings, they see the subheadings. So this is where they're just scrolling text and reading an article. But with pages, we want it to be more visual. We want to give them call to actions like buttons to click on that take them to certain pages, different pictures they could click on that take them to different pages. So a page is basically designed to direct people to either blog articles or other pages on our website. Or maybe it's a sales page. We would have product images and informational videos about a product, that sort of thing. So back here in the editor, what we would do is we'd give our page a title still and save it as a draft or publish it. And then I like to use Elementor. Elementor is the actual page builder. So if we open up the Elementor page builder, we'll click edit with Elementor. Now you're not going to see that button by default. You have to install the Elementor plugin first. Once we've installed the Elementor plugin, we can just come here into the edit with Elementor button. It opens up the Elementor page builder, and now we have a different looking page than what you just saw previously. This is a specific design style of page with the Elementor plugin where we can just simply start dragging and dropping different widgets into the page. So if I wanted to add an image, I could add an image in. So this makes it a full width image. Now if I wanted to, we can click here and we've got different options of how to break our page up into halves, into thirds, into fourths. So if I wanted to give it a half and half, I could come back here to elements and I could stick, text in one half of the page, and then I could go back here to elements and I could put video in the other half of the page. And so that's how I can start breaking up my page, as we saw out here on our home page. So we had like 3 different columns here that were split across the page. So I put like an image in one column and a text box underneath it. And then in this column, an image and a text box. So I duplicated that 3 times to break the page up. Here we did a 2-column wide page. So I had, a column here with text and a button, and then another column here with an image and some text here. So Elementor, it's a great page builder to build your pages. So that's the main difference between a blog post and a page if you're trying to decide which one to use. Blogs are meant to be read as articles, and you're going to have a blog page that has a list of all your articles on it. So in my case, golfpracticeguides.com/blog. This brings them to a page where they can see all my articles listed out in order based on my published date. Now a page is its own individual page, and you can use it to go ahead and promote other things on your website, not just articles and reading content. You can actually publish, products, you can have images, that sort of thing. Alright, so now that we've covered the basics of how to add a page and a post and what the differences are between the two so that you know which one to use for situations, next let's go into the plugins tab. So here's where we would add new plugins. This is another basic thing we need to learn how to do. I'm also going to open up installed plugins. If we just click on plugins, it'll take us to the exact same page called installed plugins. So first, when you first start off with WordPress, you're not going to have many plugins installed automatically. You might have some initial ones that got installed as part of your starter pack with WordPress. But for me, I typically go in and delete them all, so I have a blank slate. I have no plugins installed when I'm first starting a brand new website. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Add New button, or in this case, we have the Add New under the drop down for plugins. That's going to open up the plugin library. So this is a library where you can search and find thousands of different plugins to add to your website. So these are things that add different features to your website. So for example, if you wanted to add different social media icons, share icons on your articles or on your pages, you could find a plugin for that by just typing in social media or social widgets. So let me go ahead and just type it fully out here. Got social widget, and now it's going to show about 5, 6, 7 different options here at the top that have the most installations usually. So 90,000 installations, 50,000. So you can check by reviews and active installations to see if it's a really popular plugin. There's also the popular tab itself here we can click on, and that's going to take us into all the main popular plugins that have over 5 million different installations. So these are a lot of ones you can get started with. I've used Yoast SEO before. That's a great one to add SEO for your website if you're trying to rank on Google. We get more into that in other videos. WooCommerce is great if you want an e-commerce store set up. It'll help you create product pages, different pricing structures, checkout pages, thank you pages once they buy the product. So it creates a lot of that on the back end. It's a software that gets added to your website so you can run a store out of your website. Elementor, like I mentioned, is the page builder that's very popular. It's free to use, and it's a great, easy to use for beginners. So that's the one that I currently use to run my websites. And then there's a lot of other plugins in here as well. So that's how you would add new plugins. Now, once you have plugins, you need to keep them updated. So this is our next tip for you in today's video, showing you how to update plugins. It's something every WordPress user needs to know how to do to keep their website functioning properly. When plugins get out of date, it can start causing issues with WordPress. WordPress is constantly evolving. There's new WordPress versions that get published every so often. And then everybody that creates plugins for WordPress has to go back and update those plugins in order to make it still compatible with WordPress. Otherwise, things start breaking, your web page breaks, and nobody can load it, or it's got errors and issues on it, usually related to a plugin breaking on your website. So keeping these up to date is going to help save you headaches of having a broken website. So what we can do here is just click all. It checkboxes everything here. So we go under bulk actions once we've selected everything. And we'll just click on the update tab here and click apply. And it'll start updating one by one each of these plugins that have this yellow bar here that are saying that they need updated. So once they've all been updated, we'll get green check marks and we're good to go. Everything's up to date with the current version of that plugin. The next thing I want to show you how to do is add a new theme to your website. So we can go under appearance, we can go to themes, and we can go here to the Add New button, just like we did with the plugins. It's pretty similar. When you click on Add New, it's going to open up a theme library instead of a plugin library. So this time it's going to list all these different website themes. So these are the layouts, the design styles of a website that you can look at and preview and see what design style is unique and fits what you're looking for your website. So if you want a sidebar like this one called the Traveler with your menu down the side, you could do that. Most websites, however, have the menu across the top of the website page. So you'll see like the name of the website and the logo up top and then a menu bar underneath it. So same here with this one, we've got the name of the website, and then underneath it here you have the different menu items. So you can check out these different styles of websites, how they look in each of these themes. You can go to the featured, you can go to the popular, you can search for themes. So if I wanted like a real estate theme, I could just type in real estate, hit enter. It'll pull up different real estate agency style themes if I wanted to use that kind of theme. So real simple to add a theme. You just click on it, click on install. It'll install it to your website. Then you can come back here under themes and it'll have your library of all the themes you've installed. So by default, you're going to get 2019, 2020, and 2021 added into your WordPress site when you first install WordPress. You can go in here and actually delete these if you want. You can just click on theme details, click on delete, and get rid of them so that it gets rid of some of the clutter, because if we're not going to be using them, they're just taking up unnecessary space. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you to delete these. You just click on each one under theme details and you find this little delete button. Now you can only do this if it's inactive. So right now these themes are not my active theme. My current active theme is Hello Elementor, and it's got the active bar here to show me this is the theme I'm currently using to run my website. So if I've downloaded some new themes using the Add New tab and we downloaded them from the theme library here on WordPress, all I would need to do is click over to this other theme and click on Activate. It'll refresh the page, they'll switch positions. This will now be the first theme that shows up here under the library, and it'll show it is now the active theme that's running this website. So that's how you can change themes if you decide you do not like the theme that you currently have and you want to switch it up. Alright, we talked a little bit about themes and how they have the menu bar running across the page with the logo typically. So to set up a menu, it's real simple. We just go under Appearance and you'll see the word Menus here, so we can click on that. And that's going to have a drop down page where you can drag and drop in different menu items and build your menu. So first you're going to need to give your menu a name. I named this just Menu 1. Click Save and it'll refresh the page. Once it refreshes the page, we can click on View All to see all of our pages we currently have on our website. So I've made a home page, an about page, a contact page, and I have a second home page. So what we would do is I would click on a home, I'd click on about, click on contact, and I would click Add to Menu here, this button. What it's going to do is pop them in over here, and then I can reorganize them in the order I want them to show up. So starting from the top, this will be the most left item on our menu. So if I go back out here, you can see the most left item menu for my golf website happens to be instruction. Then the next item is break 70, then break 80, then break 90. So back here, if this was the same menu, I'm on a different website, so it's not going to be the same menu. But if I was, you would see instruction, then you'd see break 70, then you'd see break 80, then break 90 is how it would go down the list. So in this case, it's home, then it's blog, then it's about, contact, and Facebook. Now, I don't actually have a page here called Facebook. I don't actually have a page here called blog. These, you can see here, are called custom links. So to create a custom link, we just go here to the custom link drop-down tab, and we can start typing in our own custom URL. So if I wanted to take them to my Facebook page, I could type in my Facebook page custom URL here, and I would give it a title called Facebook. Click Add to Menu, and then it pops it in down here as another menu widget that I could rearrange in whatever order that I want to. So when we're done, we'll go ahead and click Save Menu, and that's how you build out your menu so that when you come out to your website, you have this menu bar that runs across the top of your page so people can find your most important pages on your website. Alright, a couple other things to show you how to do on the WordPress dashboard that are really important if you're brand new. One is creating new users. So again, go to users, click add new, or come up here to the new tab and you'll find user as well. So with adding a new user, it's important because it allows you to add more profiles to your website. So you can add more people that are going to be doing different tasks for you on your website. It gives them access to your website so that you don't have to give up your own login information. You can keep your information private. So let's say you're not going to be writing the articles, you're actually going to outsource them and have a writer do the articles for you for your blog, and you're going to pay them money to write articles. So you'd want to set up a new user, give them a username that they can log in with, type in the email address they want associated with their account, and then put their information in. And then we can add a role here. So I could just change this to contributor. This would be somebody who's going to be contributing content to the website. I could give them editor access or author access. These also have to do with how they can go in and edit content or create content on your website. Now, admin, of course, is going to be the top level one that has access to everything. So if you don't trust somebody enough to give them complete access, you can choose one of these other roles for them instead. So all you got to do is fill out their information, pick a role for them, click add new user, and they're now access to your website. They'll get an email giving them their login so they can then start logging into your website and doing work for you. Last but not least, if you want to figure out how to set your home page, we're just going to go to settings. We're going to go to reading. Once we design our home page, we're going to click on a static page. So no longer will our home page automatically default to showing our blog articles that we've published. Instead, we can choose a static page and we can choose specifically what page we want to represent the home page. So now we're going to get a drop down menu and I can choose the one that I titled home page if that's the page that I built out with intention of it being my home page. So once we click on that, it's going to set that as the home page. We just have to click Save Changes, and now our website will make that the default home page instead of our latest blog articles. Now, if we still want a page to be created for our blog articles so that people can read our content and find us, we can still set a post page by creating a specific page that's going to be home to those blog articles. So that's where I was back here on the Golf Practice Guides website. This is my dedicated page I set up, the URL golfpracticeguides.com/blog, and that's where I made this the dedicated blog post page. So every time I add a new blog post, this automatically gets added into the feed. I don't have to manually add in each post. It just automatically gets added in by default using the WordPress blog post page settings. So all you need to do is click Add New, click New Page, and we'll go ahead and set one up for my demo website here since I've not done that yet. We'll click Add Title. I'll title it Blog. That's going to give it the URL nicksdemowebsite.com/blog. So now that that's done, we'll publish it. Then we're going to come back in here to our menu this time, and we're going to go ahead and just refresh the page, and we would add in that new blog page into our menu. Now, I've already created a custom link for it, so nicksdemowebsite.com/blog. So that's now set up. It's in our menu. So if we go out to our main menu, and we'll type in nicksdemowebsite.com/blog to get to that specific page. So again, you can see it here in our menu. If we click on it, it'll bring us to this page. Currently, it's empty. As we start publishing articles to WordPress, it will by default add them in here as a list of running articles, just like we do on the golf website. All right, so that's all I've got for you today. Some basic things you need to know inside your WordPress dashboard to change some different settings, to add some pages, to add themes and plugins. So if you're brand new to WordPress, you can start with these tips to get you started doing some different settings and adjustments to get your WordPress website up and running. Thanks so much for watching. If you gained value today, it would have helped me out if you would take 2 seconds to hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button. Join the community and make our channel grow this year in 2021. And while you're here, make sure you check out our playlist. We've got more tutorials on WordPress and Elementor, as well as plugins. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next upload.